Number 2 on a Friday, Blazin 5 in a couple of minutes. We've got Brian Baldinger last hour. We got Eric Mangini. Jordan Schultz will stop by in studio. He's got a lot of things heading into the weekend. It's like Information Friday, right? He's trying to get a little idea on your fantasy teams, on your bets for the weekend. J-Mac, as you well know, I try to stay out of the emotion business. I try to see clearly. And I do think week 1, you have no idea what's going to happen. It's an extension of preseason. Week 2, you get a little more reality mixed in. You kind of see teams that have major flaws and teams that have major strengths. But week 3, like I will feel after this week, I know what I have. Now, teams will get injury plagued. Teams will get better. Younger teams get better. We know that to be true. But I do feel when you got 3 games in the books, you start getting a little separation.
Yeah, I wonder, was the Jets-Patriots last night a precursor to week 3? These are what we expected the teams to be.
Good call.
The Jets, pretty good defensively, and Aaron Rodgers healthy. Boom. Patriots, garbage.
When we looked at the Jets schedule in August, we said the easiest win of the year in August was last night. Patriots short week, terrible roster. But again, week 1, every year you see this. New England beat Cincy, and I'm thinking yesterday, why is this line 6? I don't understand it. And I left the show, and somebody texted me and said, bad team, short week, on the road.
Rookie coach, yeah.
It's 6 is the appropriate line. Instead of 3 to 3.5, if in most instances, if they played on Sunday, it would be Jets favored by 3.5 to 4, but it was 6. So this week, it's a little more realistic. I do think teams now, the underdogs this week are tasty. I think we're giving underdogs. I like underdogs this week. But that doesn't mean reality is different. I'm just going to do some underdogs. So you ready to go with the Blazing 5? Here we go.
That's a hot one. Let's blaze it up.
Fire it up.
It's Colin's Blazin 5, sponsored by DraftKings. Giants at Browns.
6.5 points is too many. Cleveland's got 14 players on the injury list this week, and really good players. The Giants' O-line's playing well. Daniel Jones has protection. They did not allow a touchdown in the loss to the Commanders. Jack Conklin's out. David Njoku, Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, Denzel Ward. Cleveland's banged up. Their offense is 28th in the league. Deshaun Watson's completing 58% of his throws. And they're one of 2 defenses without a takeaway this year. But it's really about Deshaun Watson. How much better than Daniel Jones is he this year? I'm not sure he is. 6.5 is way too many points. This Cleveland team's a fraud. Giants win it. Take the points, 24-23.
Broncos at Buccaneers.
I like the Bucs. Not 6.5 points. I'm taking Denver plus 6.5 points. Listen, the Broncos are a really desperate team, and they've got talent. But this is about the Bucs. They were outgained by Detroit by 250 yards. They were 2 for 10 on 3rd down. Baker Mayfield got sacked 5 times. I like Tampa. I don't like them that much. Their defense is missing Vita Vea, Antonio Winfield. It's all beat up. Again, a desperate team. Weather not a factor. You're not facing the Steelers' defense now. This is the weakest defense Denver will face. Bo Nix will have time to throw, and the Bucs' defense this year has been bad. It's just not a very good defense. The Broncos are going to cover here. I'm going to take the Bucs to win in a late field goal, but I'm taking 6.5 all day long with this.
Dolphins at Seahawks.
Okay, I'm going to take a favorite. I don't get the line. I'm going to take Seattle at home minus 4.5. Skylar Thompson completes 50% of his throws. This story's about Seattle. We talked Geno Smith. That's not the story. It's their new defensive coach from Baltimore. Seattle has the highest rated defense in the league according to PFF. It was near the bottom last year with the same dudes. They're allowing 4 yards a play, second best in the NFL. Opposing quarterbacks have a 61 passer rating against the Seahawks. It's not about Geno Smith and DK Metcalf. This is an excellent defense. Skylar Thompson, what are we doing here? He has a 60 passer rating. I don't understand the line. And Miami never feels the same when they travel or go up north or go out west. I'm going to take the Seahawks to win. I'm going to swallow the points, 28-17. They will shut down Skylar Thompson in the Pacific Northwest.
Chiefs at Falcons.
Here's my upset of the week. I think Atlanta's a good team. I told Philadelphia fans when the Falcons beat you, take a deep breath. Atlanta's a good football team. They're going to win their division, win 11, 12 games. I'm going to take the Falcons plus 3 points. They had no turnovers and 6.6 yards a play with Kirk Cousins. It's one of the best O-lines. Excellent running back room. Could be the best running back room in the league. By the way, 20 of 29 against the Eagles. Kirk Cousins moved better. Kansas City, first road game. Mahomes, first couple of weeks, worst in passing yards and turnovers. And Kirk Cousins had this reputation, bad in prime time. No, he's not. Last 4 primetime games, he's completing 75% of his throws. There's going to be an upset this weekend. I think it's close. I think it looks like the Philadelphia game, and I think Atlanta at home wins this game. I know. Colin, stay away from Atlanta. I know. My ATM receipts would tell me, stay away from Atlanta. I like them in this spot. I do.
Jaguars at Bills.
Jaguars are not a terrible team. Okay, they're going to play well. 5 points against Buffalo. They're 0-2. The season on the line for Jacksonville. Greg Cosell told us yesterday, Trevor Lawrence is good. He's tall, he moves well, he throws well. They got off to a slow start. Trevor Lawrence is completing 51% of his throws. You really think that's what he is? No, that's not what he is. They've had 12 plays this year of 20 or more yards. That's tied for the most in the league. The Jaguars' offense is a big play offense. Bills, major injuries. Matt Milano out. His backup's hurt. They have a linebacker in the corner that may not play. Trevor Lawrence in primetime games is actually 8 touchdowns, no picks. Been okay. I like Buffalo. But 5 points feels like way too much for an explosive offense. They're dinged up on the defensive side. Jags win 26-24. Remember, we thought the Jags last year before Trevor Lawrence got banged up, they looked like a playoff team. The year before they were a playoff team. They're not terrible. They're not. They're going to be very competitive. These teams are much closer than you think. 26-24, take the points. DraftKings Sportsbook's the #1 place to bet touchdowns, and new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Sign up. The code is HERD, H-E-R-D. So let's look at our bets again. Again, I'm taking a lot of points this weekend. I think the market's a little crazy. I like a lot of underdogs. I like Jacksonville as an underdog. I like the Giants as an underdog. I like the Denver Broncos as an underdog. I'm taking 4 underdogs and the Seahawks to cover at home against the Dolphins. J-Mac, any reaction to that?
Don't love what I'm seeing. I do like that you're fading the Bills and Dolphins. That would mean the Jets all alone in first place. But yeah, I don't know, Dave. I don't know about the Giant. Daniel Jones against a Jim Schwartz defense. I'm looking at the injury report for the Browns. We'll see what becomes official later today. Myles Garrett. If Myles Garrett is out, that's a great call.
Giants offensive line. It's great at left tackle and has played very good this year. The Giants' O-line is played. If Myles Garrett does not play, Daniel Jones, and that receiving core, now that Neighbors is the one and everybody slides back a slot, it's okay.
Yeah, but they played the Vikings and the and Washington. You know, there's a big step up. The Browns, Myles Garrett. I do like the Broncos pick, by the way. I'm riding with you on that one.
All right, let's go to Eric Mangini, Jets, Browns head coach, Fox Sports. So I said this. The Jets have been, for about a decade, 8-9 years, have been so bad at quarterback that there's no reason for me to be cynical or snarky. Last night looked like Mona Lisa. If you go to the last 8 years, that was one of the great nights of quarterback play. I don't know if it's long-lasting. The schedule gets tougher, but I thought that looked like a highly functional offense, and Aaron was comfortable. That was my take. Yours?
Yeah, this is the Aaron Rodgers that I expected them to have last year before he got hurt, and this is the potential with Aaron Rodgers. And you look at what they've been able to do this year. What's it? 3 touchdowns in 3 straight games. They had 1 game all last season where they had 3 touchdowns. He looked poised. His movement was very good. It looks like he's got a rapport now with the wide receivers when he's changing plays at the line of scrimmage. That's really positive. And we can ding the Patriots, but the Patriots, they upset the Bengals. They're ahead of the Seahawks for 59 minutes. They had played pretty well coming into this game, and the Jets just dominated. And when Aaron plays well, it makes everybody else play better. It gives them something that they didn't really have all last season, which was hope the entire game. They know that they can play with anybody as long as Aaron's playing. He doesn't always have to play this